Hi, good morning dear children. Welcome back to English Reader class. Second term, first lesson, my childhood days. Before that, I know that all are sitting very comfortably at home, having the interactive section with your teachers. Have you seen your teachers? Have you seen your friends? I know that all are very comfortably sitting at home and enjoying the sessions by the teachers. So, here I am again, Swapna teacher with a new lesson, my childhood days. Okay, let us start now. Can you see this picture? Can you identify who are they? Can you identify? Yes, this is Gandhiji, Subhash Chandra Bose, Jawaharlal Nehru. Gandhiji, Subhash Chandra Bose, Jawaharlal Nehru. You all are very familiar with these names and these pictures. Okay, let us straight away go to our lesson, my childhood days. And my childhood days is a small lesson, a small extract taken from the story of my experiments with the truth. It is taken from the story of my experiments with the truth, written by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. We all call him as Gandhiji. Okay, this is a small lesson which is taken from the story of my experiments with the truth, written by Gandhiji. Okay, ready? So in this lesson, we are going to learn something about Gandhiji's childhood days. Okay, Gandhiji's childhood days. My childhood days, written by Gandhiji. Look at the first one. Name 3 freedom fighters who have contributed significantly in achieving the country's independence. Can you say? Can you name 3 freedom fighters? There are so many freedom fighters. We all are very familiar with them. So we are going to write only 3 of them. See this: Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi. These are the 3 names. Okay, Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi. So when we talk about Mahatma Gandhi or Gandhiji, we all know that he is a good example. He is an exemplary person who is having all the good qualities. Okay, he is an example of punctuality, honesty, these all things. Okay, so today we are going to learn about a small portion from his book, My Experiments with the Truth, which is named as My Childhood Days. Okay, so we start the lesson now. You all know that in the school, we are all experiencing a lot of things. You always like to spend time with your friends. You always like to enjoy with your friends. So when the teacher comes to class, you are sitting very comfortably in the class, listening to the teacher, answering to the questions by the teacher. And then after that, you will be enjoying with your friends. You'll be really having a lot of fun with your friends during the school time, during the school days. And I tell you one thing, the school days is considered to be one of the golden periods in our life. It is considered to be one of the golden periods in our life because we get a lot of friends at that time. We enjoy all our time with our friends. I know that you all are missing your friends nowadays. Okay, at present you are not at all able to come to school, you are not able to see your friends, you are not at all able to chat with them, you are not at all able to share your snacks with them. That is very important, right? Yes, I know. So this period is considered to be a very beautiful period in your life. So today we are going to learn about something about Gandhiji's school days. Okay, like a child when he was school, he experienced a lot of things. He is also like you people. So we are going to learn about Gandhiji now. So read below an excerpt from the story of My Experiments with the Truth by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Here excerpt means extract. Okay, extract. Now we are going to learn a small portion of the story of my experiments with the truth written by Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. We call him as Gandhiji. Okay, ready? Shall we straightway go to the lesson now? Yes, very good. My own recollection is that I had no high regard for my ability. I used to be astonished whenever I won prizes and scholarships. But I very jealously guarded my character. The least little blemish drew tears from my eyes. A rebuke from the teacher was unbearable for me. Okay. My own recollection is that, recollection means memory. My own recollection is that I had no high regard for my ability. Regard here means respect. Here it means that Gandhiji does not have that much respect about his ability. He does not believe that he has a lot of abilities. Okay. I used to be astonished whenever I won prizes and scholarships. I used to be astonished. Astonished here means wondered. Okay, or surprised or wondered. So here Gandhiji used to be astonished. Astonished here means surprised or wondered. Whenever I won prizes and scholarships, whenever Gandhiji get a particular prize or a scholarship, he is always thinking how I got that prize, how I got that scholarship. Okay, that means that he is not at all high respect about his ability. He does not believe that he has that much ability to win a scholarship. But I very jealously guarded my character. The least little blemish drew tears from my eyes. So I very jealously guarded my character. So it is there in my mind. I do not believe in my own abilities. That is guarded in his character. The least little blemish drew tears from my eyes. The least little blemish. Blemish here means it is dishonor. I'll write the meaning here, okay? Dishonor. I'll once again explain this vocabulary at the end. Okay. The least little blemish drew tears from my eyes. The least little here means a small amount of dishonor. Whenever somebody is telling something about me, I always feel very sad. Okay. It means that Gandhiji is a very sensitive person. A small amount of rebuke from anyone that hurt him very much. A rebuke from the teacher was unbearable for me. A rebuke here means scolding. Okay. A rebuke from the teacher was unbearable for me. Rebuke means scolding. A scolding from the teacher was unbearable. Unbearable means not able to be tolerated. I cannot tolerate when teacher is telling something to me. When a teacher is scolding me, I usually felt very sad. So you all know that. In your class, you will be having all these. Your teacher comes to class, take the lessons, tell you to take the notebooks and write down something. When she is teaching, if anybody is talking in between, what does she say? Hey, keep quiet, listen to this, take the book, write it. Likewise, the teacher says. At times, she calls some children. She calls the names of some of the children. At that time, some children know they are very sensitive. When a teacher is calling them, they feel very uncomfortable. So likewise, Gandhiji is also feeling very uncomfortable when somebody is telling something to him, when a teacher is scolding him. Okay, so the next part, I remember an incident. Gandhiji is explaining a particular incident in this portion. When I was in the 7th standard, Dorabji Idolji Jimmy, the headmaster then, was popular among the boys. He was a disciplinarian, a man of method, and a good teacher. He had made gymnastics and cricket compulsory for boys of the higher grades. I disliked both. I never took part in any exercise, cricket or football, before they were made compulsory. Okay, Now look at this now. I remember an incident. So here he is going to talk about a particular incident. When I was in the 7th standard, when who is the I here? Gandhiji. When Gandhiji was in the 7th standard, Dorabji Idulji Jimmy, the headmaster, the name of the headmaster was Dorabji Idulji Jimmy. He was popular among the boys. He was a well-known person among the boys. Popular here means famous. Famous or well-known among the boys. So he was a very well-known person. He was a very famous person among the boys. He was a disciplinarian. Disciplinarian here means a person who practices strict discipline. A person who practices strict discipline. So this Dorabji Idulji Jibi, it's a proper noun, the name of the headmaster. He was a disciplinarian. He was a person who is very strict in discipline. A man of method and a good teacher. A man of method here means he does everything punctually. A man of method and a good teacher. You all know that what a good teacher is. How a good teacher to be. So Dorabji Idulji Jimmy was a very disciplinarian. He is a very strict teacher. He is a very punctual person and a very good teacher. He had made gymnastics and cricket compulsory. So he had made cricket and gymnastics compulsory for boys of the higher grades. So he is a very strict person, as I already told you. So what did he do is, he made gymnastics and cricket compulsory for boys of the higher grades. I disliked both. Gandhiji disliked. Disliked means he does not like what is that? Gymnastics and cricket. I never took part in any exercise. That is a speciality of Gandhiji. He never took part in any of the exercise, cricket or football, before they were made compulsory. So he does not like to take part in any of the exercises. Even if it is cricket, football, gymnastics or whatever it may be, he does not like to participate in any of these activities. I never took part in any exercise, cricket or football, before they were made compulsory. Compulsory means all the children should attend that. All the children must attend to that. That is the meaning of compulsory. Okay, so Gandhiji disliked this gymnastic sports and all, so he never took part in any of the exercises. But his headmaster was a very strict person, as I already told you, a disciplinarian. So what did he do is, he made a strict law among the boys of the higher grades. All the boys of the higher grades should attend this sessions like cricket, football or whatever it may be. So before that, Gandhiji always escaped from all these things. Okay, here there is a correction about this. You have seen this blemish in the first paragraph. The meaning of blemish is dishonor. Now there is a spelling correction in your textbook. D-I-S-H-O-N-O-R is written there. This spelling is also there for dishonor. D-I-S-H-N-O-U-R. Okay, so you have to keep in mind this spelling also. D-I-S-H-O-N-O-U-R, dishonor. Okay, so usually we are following the British spelling, so you have to keep in mind that spelling also. Clear? Now let us move to the next part. So this is the picture of Dorabji Idulji Jimmy. As I forgot to show you, Dorabji Idulji Jimmy. From the face itself, it is evident that he is a very strict person. Okay, now moving on to the next part. My shyness was one of the reasons for this aloofness, which I now see was wrong. I then had the false notion that gymnastics had nothing to do with education. Today I know that physical training should have as much place in the curriculum as mental training. Okay. So my shyness was one of the reasons for this aloofness, which I now see was wrong. My shyness here means Gandhiji was a very shy person. As I already told you, he cannot tolerate a small rebuke from the teacher. Likewise, he is a very shy. He is a very shy person. So my shyness was one of the reasons for this aloofness, which I now see was wrong. So he was a very shy one. When he was at school, he was a very shy one. So you might be thinking that how he took part in this independent struggle and brought freedom for us. So we are talking about his childhood days. Okay, so his shyness was one of the reasons for this aloofness, which I now see was wrong. Aloofness here means state of being alone or distant from the rest of the crowd. He does not want to take part in any of the activities. He does not want to mingle with any of the people. Okay, a state of being alone or distant from the rest of the crowd. That means that he does not want to mingle with anyone. He always wants to be away from the crowd. Okay, so my shyness was one of the reasons for this aloofness, which I now see it was wrong. So I was not at all ready to mingle with anyone. I do not want to go to the crowd because he is a very shy one, which I now see was wrong. I then had the false notion that gymnastics had nothing to do with education. So at that time I had a false notion. Notion means belief. I believed that why should I practice gymnastics? Why should I go to play cricket or football? It does not have anything to do with the education. Okay, nowadays you people are also thinking like that. Education means sitting in the classroom, taking the books, reading, writing. These all things we are doing, no? So at that time Gandhiji was also thinking like that. I thought that why should I go for play? Why should I practice all these things? Because education means taking a book and reading from the book, by hearting the things, by hearting the question answers and all the things the teacher is giving me. And I have to appear for the exam, write all the things correctly, and I get full marks. That is what is called education. Is it so? No. Okay. So at that time I thought that, I then had the false notion that gymnastics had nothing to do with education. Okay, I thought that I don't have to practice all things because education is something different from this sports and other activities. Today I know that physical training should have as much place in the curriculum as mental training. But now I believe that physical activities are very important in our life. Okay, so physical training should have as much place in the curriculum as mental training. So in the school we are learning different subjects that helps us to develop our mental power. We are learning mathematics, you all know that mental arithmetics and all we are practicing. So for this we are spending a lot of time. So at the same time we spend a very little time for doing exercise, playing and all. So at that time when he was a child, during his childhood days, Gandhiji thought that he does not want to do any of these practices because education does not have any connection with this sports, gymnastics and all. Okay, so I know that physical training should have as much place in the curriculum as mental training. But now I know that when we frame the curriculum means a framework of different subjects and all that you are following in the school. So you have to give very important, or it should be given an important role in the curriculum, the sports and other activities. I may mention, however, that I was none the worse for abstaining from exercise. That was because I had in books about the benefits of long walks in the open air, and having liked the advice, I had formed the habit of taking walks, which has still remained with me. These walks give me a fairly hardy constitution. So I may mention here means refer. Here Gandhiji is referring something. I may mention. The I here means Gandhiji. Gandhiji is referring here. However, that I was none the worse for abstaining from exercise. I was always abstaining. Abstaining here means keeping myself away from doing something. I never do any exercise. I was none the worse for abstaining from exercise. I always try to be away from doing all these exercises. Okay, aloofness here means state of being alone. Abstaining means keeping oneself from doing something. I never do any kind of exercises. I always try to be away during the time of the exercises. That was because I had read in books about the benefits of long walks in the open air, and having liked the advice, I had formed a habit of taking walks which has still remained with me. So that was because I had read books about the benefits of long walks in the open air. So then I read in the books about the benefits, the importance of walking in the open air, long walks in the open air, and having liked the advice, I had formed a habit of taking walks which has still remained with me. So after reading from the books and all, I started practicing to go for a walk in the open air, and that habit is still with me. So I started going for walks, long walks in the open air, and that has formed a habit in my life. I had formed a habit of taking walks which has still remained with me. So still now I am following the same. These walks give me a fairly hardy constitution. So these walks, so I used to go for long walks in the open air, and with that gave me a fairly hardy constitution. Constitution here means a kind of body structure. You all know how does Gandhiji look like. Oh, he's very, even though he's very thin, he's very lean, he's having a very good body, healthy body. Okay, so these walks give me a fairly hardy constitution. So as the habit of going for long walk in the open air in the mornings, that gave me a very good, a very rigid body structure. Okay, even though Gandhiji did not like to do any kind of activities or sports or gymnastics or anything like that, he had a habit of going for long walks in the open air, and that resulted him with a very flexible body structure. Okay, I hope this is very clear to you. Now we straight away move on to the glossary part. Now look at this, the first word, blemish. Blemish means dishonor or disgrace. As I already told you, there is a spelling correction. D-I-S-H-O-N-O-U-R, dishonor. Rebuke. Rebuke means scolding. Then aloofness. Aloofness means state of being away, alone, or distant from the rest of the crowd. State of being away, alone, or distant from the rest of the crowd. Now abstaining. Abstaining means keeping oneself from doing something. Keeping oneself from doing something. Now constitution. Constitution means body structure or composition. So here it means body structure. Constitution means body structure. So this is what is for today. I think you all understood what the teacher has taught you today. Now I am going to give you an assignment. This assignment is very important because in this you have to learn a lot of new words. Okay, so this assignment is about unscramble the letters to form meaningful words. The words are given there, but they are not in the correct order. They are not in the proper order. So it is in an unscrambled form. What you have to do is, you have to unscramble the letters, then you get a meaningful word. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 questions are there. You have a lot of time to write the answer. You have a lot of time to find out the answers. All these words are in your textbook. So what you have to do is, read this particular portion. Read this particular portion 3 times. Again I say you have to read this portion 3 times after listening to the class. After listening to the class, what you have to do is, you have to read this portion 3 times. Then only all these words will be familiar to you. Okay, so don't forget to write this assignment. You can write this assignment in your English notebook. So during the English interactive session, the teachers will be asking you to show the assignment. At that time, you have to be ready with the assignment. Okay? Ready? Okay, very good. So next portion, teacher will continue in the next class. You all know my name, Swapna, and my number is here. If you have any doubt, you can call me. No problem. So read the lesson 3 times and learn the new words given here. Okay, this is all for today. Thank you. Take care.